Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining our Integrations with Ekotrope webinar today. I'm Patrick. I'm account manager for raters and providers at Ekotrope. I'm a go-to person for anything regarding your Ekotrope license or, technical support. But today we're here to talk about integrations and how you can connect various softwares with Ekotrope to improve your workflows. We're going to start today by handing it off to my colleague, David, and he's going to take us through a demo. So take it away, David.
Great, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, we're super excited to be here to show you what a finished product could look like if you were using all of our APIs and integration tools to build a fully streamlined workflow. Before I get in, I'm going to do a little bit of introduction to kind of the various parts that I'm going to show you for this integration. Here at Ekotrope, we want to build these tools so that they are flexible and adaptable, and you can use whatever the software tools that you use to run your business to integrate with Ekotrope. Those software tools that we generally think about is one, Ekotrope RATER, your energy modeling tool. The other would be your project management tool, which would be your tool to keep track of all of the jobs you're working on, all of the services or inspections that you're providing, your billing and your contact information for those that you're working with. There's a lot of tools that you can use as a project management tool. In this demo that I'm going to show you, I've kind of made a mock-up or like a little sandbox project management tool in Google Sheets. Google Sheets is just like Microsoft Excel. A lot of people actually use this to manage their company and their projects. But sometimes people or other people also use like Salesforce and other products that we'll talk about here in a little bit. So it's a little rough around the edges. I'm not a rating company. This is just for a demonstration here to show you what the workflow could look like. The other tool that I'm going to show you is an inspection application. I'm going to be using a tool called True Context, and the inspection app is just the tool that you use to record all the information you need for your minimum rated features for the HERS rating to confirm that they meet specifications or document any changes or gather the raw information about that home. In this situation, I'm going to show you how you can connect all three of those things to seamlessly send data from your scheduled job to pre-fill that inspection form with inspection data that your inspector is validating in the field or gathering new, and then sending that information to Ekotrope to automatically update the Ekotrope energy model without having anybody transcribe that information for themselves. And then finally, I'm going to show you how you can have your project management tool request specific reports and certificates from Ekotrope to automatically pull those reports on a scheduled basis and distribute those to your clients, your builders, without having to spend kind of staff resources to look up that information, send the emails, and put it where it needs to go for access to the builder. So with that, I'm going to kind of show you what that workflow could look like here with our few tools, right, that we've mocked up here to show you how it can all work. The reason we have these tools mocked up is because a lot of the integrations utilize APIs, which are kind of the back end, how different softwares speak to one another. So there's not a lot of show for that, but we can show the outcome of what it enables. And ultimately, that's what we care about, is we care about streamlined, efficient processes and good outcomes for everybody. So here's my project schedule tool or my project management tool. A few things that I have in here that are fairly common for rating companies is to have a list of all of my jobs. This is all of the jobs that I've been hired to complete inspection services for or HERS ratings. I'm going to highlight this first one here. It says I'm doing a HERS rating for the service that I'm delivering for 1 Marina Park Drive. And it's in status final, which for me, it just means it's ready for the final inspection. I've done everything up before that. The other critical piece on this kind of little tool here is I have the unique Ekotrope project ID for this job. And this means if I were to go to Ekotrope, I could type in this project ID and get a specific energy model that is to be used for this project. This is a key piece of your integration because this unique project ID allows this project management tool to talk to Ekotrope and get information about this specific energy model. And it's a way to like say, hey, I'm looking for such and such project with lots of precision. So this is how I keep track of my jobs. You may have something similar to this. Each one of these jobs likely has multiple tasks or inspections. So down here, I switched over to the task schedule. And you may have a process where every single day you're calling your builders, you're looking up their inspection schedules or their job schedules and verifying that you are ready to complete, for example, a final inspection for One Marina Park Drive, and it's ready today. You could imagine you're doing this the day in advance, and you're finalizing the schedule. And once you have the schedule finalized, you need to tell all of your inspectors that they need to, which jobs they need to go inspect, what service that they're inspecting for, and you need to dispatch these schedules to your raters. This is where one of the integrations comes in. With your project management tools, depending on their capabilities, you can set them up so that you can integrate with Ekotrope and pull information using our integrations out of Ekotrope, process that, and then dispatch or send it to your field raters via their inspection app. So I've set this up here. So I have this button right here that says dispatch to Pronto Forms. What this is going to do is it's going to look up this Ekotrope energy model, which happens to be this one right here. And it's going to get information about the energy model, and it's going to send it to my inspection application that I have on my phone, which I will share on the screen right here for just a moment. So you can now see my phone right next to it. Patrick, you can see my phone, correct?
Mm-hmm. Sure thing.
Great. So you can see that I now have in my Pronto Forms or True Context inspection app. Again, this is an inspection app that we just kind of bought a license for demonstration purposes. You can also buy the same inspection app for your uses as well. This is one that works particularly well for these integrations. And I can look at my inspection inbox as if I'm an inspector, and I can see that I have one inspection dispatched to me. It's a HERS final inspection. And I can open it up and I can look at the project info. I can see it's One Marina Park Drive, Massachusetts with this zip code. So I know where I'm going. And once I get there, I can see my inspection, all the different things that I'm supposed to record about this home. This application supports a lot of different things. This is just a very kind of minimal inspection form that we built for demo purposes here. You can pull in anything you want from the energy model to put in here, or as little as you want. But you can, with our integrations, update all of your final inspection data or pre-drywall inspection data back to the Ekotrope. We just have a few things in here to show you a demo here. I'm going to say that I'm going to update the orientation of this house. And when I got to the house, I took my photo, I looked at my compass, and decided that the front of the house faces east. And I'm going to, play act like I'm taking an infiltration blower door result here. And the result was 978 CFM 50. And, I finished my final inspection here. Now it's time to submit this form. So this particular inspection app is going to send data to Ekotrope to update this energy model with the inspection data that I just gathered. It can also send a report to my inbox. It can send a kind of inspection summary report to, maybe your builder, your client here, and could also update your project management tool to say, hey, we completed this inspection. But what I want to show here is how it updates the Ekotrope energy model. I'm going to open up this initial house plan before it's updated and show that it's currently facing northeast. And if I go to infiltration, the infiltration is 1,171. That's the same information for the CFM that we saw in the report itself. If I go back to the energy model, I'm now going to see two building designs because this project has been updated. And the one is with inspection data. This is the data that just came from the inspection app itself. And if I open it up, I can now see that it faces east. All of the windows were rotated appropriately, so now the front faces east. And if I go to infiltration, the CFM 50 result is now 978. So this shows how you can go straight from your inspection app to send data to the energy model and have it updated without having anybody having to transcribe that data manually. And it can be a very streamlined, fast, efficient process. Some rating companies that use this still have somebody go and review this to make sure that all the data looks right. You may want to do some QA or QC on your field raters to make sure that they kind of submitted the data and typed it in correctly. But it's a very efficient process. I'm going to go back to my project schedule tool. And now that I've finished the final inspection, somebody in my office might be updating the project status or the job status. And I'm going to go to my job kind of tracker here and say, I finished final. It's now ready for file processing. And file processing is a step where we assume that you register the rating with ResNet, you download the PDF certificates you need, and you send those to your builder clients. So with an integration with Ekotrope, you can register with ResNet automatically, just tell it, and it can batch all those together. So it can do it kind of somebody else, the computer can do it. The computer can wait for it to finish rather than somebody going and doing that themselves. And it can also go and request all of the reports that you need. So for this project, I have a list of the reports that I need to send. And I'm going to go ahead in here and say, send final reports. It's going to look for all of the projects or jobs here that are in the file processing status. And it's going to go ask Ekotrope, hey, give me all of the HERS report, the HERS label for this project, and generate the report and bring it back to me. Once this project management tool gets the PDFs, it can then send the reports to whoever you want them to. You'll see it just completed. It says the job is now complete. I now have a link to the job right here. So here's the link. And this link was also sent directly to my builder, which I'm going to show here in just a little bit. I'm pausing so we can cut this out, sorry, so I can pull up my email and filter. So be quiet and I'll come back to this. Let me show you what that email looks like when it gets sent to the builder. So I have this set up so it sends an email every time I pull the reports to this Bob builder, and it says, you can make this say whatever you want. Your project management tool can be configured to send this report. So you can distribute these automatically without having a staff person looking at the reports, crafting this email and sending them to just further streamline your process. So as soon as you've completed your final inspection and the field rater presses complete and submit, your energy model is updated, your project registered with ResNet, and the reports are sent automatically to really speed up that turnaround time for your builder to get the reports they need. That could be done at pre-drywall or even at plan review when you're generating energy code reports for your builder. So that's a little bit of the kind of the quick what this could look like if you had this integrated with your tools. We have helped a number of people kind of do this themselves using their tools that they already use today. And Patrick is going to talk a little bit more about how you can do it, kind of what the high level points are and how these things talk to one another, and kind of what each piece of the software triangle here of project management, Ekotrope, and inspection tools can do once you integrate them all together.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, David, for the great demo. So like you mentioned, I'm going to go through some of the implementation steps and also just review a little bit of what we just saw. So if the first piece is the triangle. So this is how we've conceived of an integration that can work here. It's basically you have 3 points. You have Ekotrope, your energy modeling software, Google Sheets, or any other project management software, and True Context, which is any inspection app. So we'll get into some of the requirements of these in a second, but this is the basic setup. Is, these are parts of the HERS rating process that can be integrated, and we've seen raters have a lot of success with. So a few other tools that we've seen folks use include Salesforce, GoCanvas. Those are more project management tools, but can also have some inspection functionality. True Context, previously known as Pronto Forms. Then Energy Smack and Dash, those are programs created by HERS raters for this purpose. Also, a number of folks have created their own software. That's also a successful route. One thing I'll say, the most important thing about these softwares, if you want to set up integrations, is for them to have some form of developer environment. So these softwares need to have a dev environment so you can write code on how it interacts with Ekotrope. You need to be able to go into True Context and say, okay, when I say this is my infiltration rate, go tell Ekotrope to update the infiltration rate. That's a really important part of this process. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the relationships of this within this triangle. So your project management software and Ekotrope, this is probably the most crucial and powerful side of this integration. Your project management software has all of your workflow, has all of your information. You can pull information about the Ekotrope job into your software. You can use the software to create new models in Ekotrope based off of templates that you've created, saving your team time. Also, like David was showing, you can use your project management software to generate reports and distribute them without all the manual button clicks that it would take to do directly through Ekotrope. The next side of this is the inspection form in Ekotrope. So this is more of that inspection sync relationship. So your, you can both pre-populate your inspection form with information from Ekotrope. So your inspectors know, hey, these are the testing requirements I have to hit. This is what I'm expecting to see. And then if they go and see a different, piece of mechanical equipment or something like that, it can automatically update Ekotrope. And this saves time, but it also just reduces the amount of button clicks and manual entries happening in the process, which will reduce errors and just streamline your workflow. There's also True Context, the inspection software we showed today, that has the ability to pull model numbers out of photos. So that can be a really nice piece of the integration once you've kind of built some of the building blocks. You can even take out that piece of manual entry. Then the last piece of the triangle is your inspection form and project management software. There's maybe a little bit less of a relationship here. Your inspection form can actually be a part of your project management software. They don't have to be separate. It just helped for this demo to show them as separate. And this is mostly, hey, when a project is ready for inspection, it can create that inspection form. And then when the inspection form is finished, it can tell your project management software, hey, we're ready for the next step in this rating. So that's more of a just kind of a procedural integration. So the next piece, time savings. So what does this really mean? Like integration, it's great, but a few things we've seen is it can save up to 15 to 20 minutes per energy model. So this is not just 15 to 20 minutes. This is also 15 to 20 minutes of time where your team isn't making duplicate data entry mistakes, and also they aren't being burdened with some of the more busy work aspects of a HERS rating, and they can focus on the other parts of the process that provide more value to your company. Also, we have this quote here from the CEO of ArcSys. It's helped them a lot with their workflows, so it really can provide a lot of value. And there's a lot of there's a lot you can do here. So it's typically helpful to pick maybe smaller integration projects to begin with. That can help kind of achieve some level of integration before and start getting some of that benefit before investing tons of time and resources into development. So most of the Ekotrope API is free to use and open and available to everyone. There are two specific areas that are not, that do require a contract and are considered a premium feature. So the first one of these we're going to talk about is inspection sync. So this feature is anytime you are using a software program to change an Ekotrope energy model. If you're going in there and saying, hey, Ekotrope, my infiltration rate was actually 956 or whatever it was in that demo. That's an inspection sync and would use a inspection sync credit. This is typically a more difficult, heavier lift of an integration. It's really powerful and can really help you, but it can take a little bit longer on the development side. The other premium feature we offer is Reports API. This is the workflow where you are going to Ekotrope and generating those reports via the API and not going into Ekotrope. So this one's a little bit more straightforward and can typically be brought up to speed more quickly. So we often suggest this as a good starting point if you're looking at integrations. Not to say you can't start with inspection sync. There's a number of folks that do. But these specifically are the two premium features. And a little bit of the business side of how this works is integrations are credits. So similarly to when you register a project with ResNet that uses one Ekotrope credit, these integrations, every time you use that API call on one project, it uses a inspection sync or a reports API credit. You can then use that endpoint again on that same project, and it won't use more credits. So, if you pull your projected report, that's a credit. If you go back to that same energy model and pull a confirmed report later on in the process, it won't double bill you. Okay, let's talk about who's using these. So integrations are actually very common. Over 88% of homes in Ekotrope utilize an integration. This just means they use some form of our API. And most of them are using our free API. 38% of homes in this past July used one of the premium features, either inspection sync or reports API, and over a quarter of the ratings used both. So, these are widespread features that, folks are using all over the place, but, there's still a lot of folks that haven't been able to use them. All right. Really the last piece is, there's a lot of, these are very technical, technical features to build. So, at Ekotrope, we're a resource for helping you get set up with these. So, if you want to schedule a demo, we ask that you fill out this short questionnaire, which we'll have down below in the description. And, we can talk to you, talk to your team, discuss your goals, what you want to achieve. We're also happy to meet with you and your developers if you already have a developer involved, and provide them with some of the resources or help give them some guidance on how to effectively build an integration. But yeah, that's about all we have today. Thank you so much for watching this and being interested in integrations. It's a really powerful tool, and we hope you get some value out of it. So thank you so much. Anything to add, David?
No, very good, Patrick. We're here. We're ready to help you out on any of your kind of integration roadmap, wherever you're starting and wherever you want to finish. We want to help you navigate that path. Just contact us at info@ekotrope.com if you want to get started.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Great. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right.
Like we're still recording. Yeah, I can try.